On the night of March 13th, 1990, at 7:30 p.m., Mindspeak was born.
The Mindspeak band. Thank you very much. Tonight is Tuesday night, March 13th, and it's 7:40.
It was aired over cable to all citizens of North Richland Hills. In later times, there were 9 other episodes of Mindspeak.
The walls come down and don't influence competition. Democracy breaking out in Eastern Europe.
Prejudice is unconstitutional.
Children's theater. Apparently there was Latin hit close to
30th anniversary of Richland High School's existence. Also be at Richland the first time in 15 years.
Back home, if we go to war, if we don't go to war.
Living peacefully as normal.
President Bush say that there's going to be no draft, so
Police brutality in the city of Los Angeles. Coverage of World League football.
It's a peace rally at the Fort Worth Water Guard.
Amidst a federal budget deficit and a recession. We'll show some of the construction that happened on the theater. Probably the most clips that will probably be seen.
It's obvious that we're doing the documentary.
Yeah. This is definitely a change. We're usually behind the camera doing stuff. And that's what the gist of the documentary is about. Us being behind the camera and how much we love this wonderful piece of the world and how much we like to get interested in it. But the main thing we're going to cover is a television show we did called Mindspeak.
Mindspeak actually began before we even thought of the word or even the show itself, because we were doing short video projects and putting short things together that ended up on the show.
Chad and I have known each other since preschool.
Well, what got me into it is whenever Brandon asked me to go do, what was it, Indiana Jones. We were doing Indiana Jones, and you needed an actor for your camera.
Indiana Jones?
Yeah. We ran out of film where there was like 2 seconds worth of footage, and we spent all day working on this elaborate production.
With your high A?
Huh? No.
With your, not
Super
high
A, Super A, yeah.
Ever since 4th grade. Yeah, I remember.
We ran out of film, and we didn't know it. Because remember how long we spent doing it? I went through all these big stunts and everything, and all we got was me getting out of a car, walking up a hill, looking scared, and then that was the end of the film. That was like 2 minutes. We always had big ideas.
Project Fresno came about. It was the video that I wanted to send to my friends in Fresno, California, to make them impressed with Dallas, Fort Worth.
So, on spring break of our sophomore year, we took Chad's uncle's Vidicon. It was a Vidicon tube camera. We recorded an SLP.
I borrowed it from my uncle to do some class projects. We did a scene from Julius Caesar. Since I had the camera, we thought, well, since you're going to have this camera, let's do this. That's pretty much what we always did. But I think you had this idea already in your head whenever we got a hold of the camera.
The shots were good. We recorded it in the wrong recording speed, and it looked really bad, and editing was a real mess.
Project Fresno, I learned a lot about trash video and what to record and what not to record. As you know, I was behind the camera most of the time. Just recording driving down the road, and you got about 300 blocks on video. It's like, you have to scan through all that when you're looking for something to edit with.
So we went out on spring break and videotaped Dallas and us doing weird things everywhere where we shouldn't really be because we're only little sophomore people.
Yeah. Yeah, we went to Las Colinas and went to the cafe and felt like big people that worked at Victor Duncan.
By the time we finished it, it was like third or fourth generation, so it looked really bad. Then we put the master copy in a VCR that chewed it up real bad. So our master, or our original for that is real messed up. So it's like a good video that we did, but it's like you can't be proud of it because of the way it looks. So it was just a learning experience. That's all.
I liked a lot the way we treated Project Fresno once it was trashed, and then videoed it in slow-mo. I think the trash on it looked kind of neat. It was a neat little effect.
We developed it into a music video that expressed what it was like to be 16 years old. And then when we got bored, we decided we'd do it just about every year.
The original Project Fresno and Friend Industrial, I think those were the funnest videos. We were all together on those videos too. We all had the same ideas for those. You could say it was really ensemble.
But that was kind of the beginning from that was the real little tiny spark that started up Mindspeak.
Mindspeak, yeah.
Mindspeak. This one day Brandon suggested that I ask Greg if I can do my own TV show. And I asked Greg, and thinking that he wouldn't say yes, and he did. So then it was our responsibility to get it going.
Like I've told people before, I think there are some people that don't have the interest or the love for video the way I do, and sometimes it pisses me off. When I'm working with people, say some crews or some people, they just don't have the enthusiasm of the job like I do. I mean, I'm up here right now, it's almost 7 o'clock at night.
It's 6:42.
City Cable 36.
36 is, well, just that. It's run by a government.
Crazy.
Think about it as political.
It's totally political. But don't get me started on that.
Oh man, my camera's dying. I'm turning green.
It's not easy being green. Top head guy, Kane Kelly.
I think when Paul Porter and you guys came up to me and you wanted to do Mindspeak, I was apprehensive at first because you did want to do it live.
Hey, live. Let's do a live show. Yeah, and we'll show those videos and stuff.
And we had really no idea what we wanted to do, except that we wanted to do it live.
We tried the first several shows live and it went off quite well.
It's hard for the people that actually created Mindspeak to talk about it. You have to get the other person's point of view, and I enjoy the other person's point of view that didn't have anything to do with it, because, you know, they see things we didn't see.
Some of that additional. City Cable 36, Mike Rice speaking.
You could be looking it up.
First impression of Mindspeak, it was, first impression I remember about Mindspeak was when I had hit my tooth on the door of the Volkswagen and caused lose two teeth, and I was had a vacant space in front of my mouth.
What do you think was good about it being live? Pointed out. It is an issue.
Because you put yourself in the position that you were making a stand, and what you were putting out was actually the first hand.
Ever extending Holiday Lane to the north of Bercy. On behalf of my wife, I want to thank you for...
Greg did the city council meetings live, so I thought, hey, live.
Mike? He can't hear me. We're down on this one. No.
George, is that you?
Half.
Oh, he hung up on me.
Houses per acre.
He wanted to know when Sonny comes on, and then he hung up.
Okay. I think you're out of your minds. But, you know, really, I think it was a good learning experience for the whole group. And as you get older, I see you maturing and knowing maybe a lot more than your instructors and being very creative. So my first impression was the wrong impression. Because I'm a lot older than you guys, and I'm a lot more serious, and I couldn't relate. Well, at first I thought he was a kook.
I think Paul's really creative. You can see him mature over the time that he spent here with us at City Cable 36, and but he's brilliant, really. I think it's kind of hard for me, being a middle-aged guy, to understand some of his ideas, but we gave him the scope and let him run with it. Sometimes he scared me.
Paul is somewhat of a character. He is unique in that he has a different plane level in which he thinks.
He did a good job. He did a very nice job. You could see, it's amazing. You could see the changes that were taking place from number 1 through number 10. You guys actually, hairstyle changed and everything changed. Clothing changed.
I didn't know how to take Paul. He's unusual. And his approach was, at times, to the extreme. But he was enjoyable.
We kind of clicked, and I didn't know exactly why. And I think I know, it's because we have basically, I think, the same sense of humor. He's a little more fatalistic than I am sometimes. But it was just kind of neat because we didn't really know each other, but we'd kind of do things around school. We'd go stalking, which was always one of my favorite activities, where we would basically wait. It was before school, and we'd run up and down the hallways, hiding behind things, infiltrating the school that we were already in, and harassing people. Not verbally or physically, but just mentally and psychologically, the thought of having two guys creeping up behind you and following you around, ducking behind, trash cans and things if you turn around. It tends to bother people, and I'm not exactly sure why.
Can you give me the phone number there? We just started shooting a video right now, and they weren't even here earlier. I was talking to somebody on the phone. Okay. Okay. Bye. I hate her. I don't know that I was really qualified, or not qualified, but I don't know that I should have hosted it because I don't think I was that good. I think I don't know of anybody else that could have done it any better, but I don't know. I think we could have done it differently.
The day we went up to the studio to set up the show for the first show, we were setting the set, and we had the idea, instead of having a plant sitting there like a lot of the shows on City Cable, we're just, hi, I'm Betty Robinson, and this is our health show. And then you have the plant sitting there beside the lady in between the guests and the hosts. And so, we want to take it like the video type of neat thing is to videotape a plant and have the videotape of a plant sitting there.
It was fun just to goof around. I mean, there's this plant sitting there, and we're in their camera looking at it, still shot, and we're all just playing with the background, getting in the shot, looking and seeing if we're in the shot, and just doing all kinds of things. And
did you have a pet peeve about the show? Something that would happen just about every show?
Audio. I hated the audio. And that's because the interfacing with the band. I mean, they would come in with RCA jacks on the back of their equipment when everything in television or anything of any kind of quality in audio is dealt on XLR, Canon, or microphone. I mean, they're dealing with stuff that's just Radio Shack specials. So.
Talked to Greg about that. Mr. Mini to XLR.